and I'll be your host. I'm hoping that what I share with you today will be of value to you and that you can use it in your life to help you grow just as I am. I want to tell you a little bit about myself before we start. I grew up in a regular South African family, and my parents were in the military, oh goodness, in the military and in the police. So in their spare time, they used to sell personal development and motivational content. That's where the proverbial bug bit me. I actually didn't know it yet. So I was always a little clever girl. My mom and dad, naturally, because of the personal development stuff, always pushed me to do better, and they wanted me to succeed. So early in my life, my mom took me for some tests, and that therapist at that stage told my mother that I'm actually boarding class and that they should stimulate me more by giving me some extracurricular activities and expand my brain. So what happened is my parents decided to homeschool me in my high school years. So what they did is they actually enrolled me for matric, for grade 12, believe it or not, in my standard 6 year. And everyone thought they were crazy, even I did. But at the end of the day, a professor, I overheard a conversation between my father and a professor, and that professor told my dad that, listen, she'll never be able to make it. And you know what I did then? I started thinking by myself, I'm going to show them. And I actually passed my matric. And the year after that, my father said, because I did my matric in like 3 subjects in 1 year and then 3 subjects the other year. So the second year, my father promised me to buy me a horse, and like a lot of little girls, my ultimate dream was to have my own horse. So he promised me to buy me a horse if I passed matric. And I studied my butt off, actually passed again. I didn't get the horse, but that's a story for another day. I did get a guitar though. All right. So I wrote my matric at age 15, and then I started working. We just didn't have the resources for me to study further, and I didn't have matric exemption. I just passed. Okay, I didn't do well. I just passed. So at the tender age of 17, I met the love of my life, and we dated for about 2 years. Then I got married at the tender age of 19. My parents preached and tried to talk me out of it. I didn't listen. I just wanted to be married to my love, and we got married when I was 19. He had 3 kids out of his previous marriage, so I was immediately a stepmom, and he also had custody of his kids. So at 19, I was suddenly a mother of 3 kids, and they were all below the ages of 8 years old, and it was a big thing for me. So later on, we also had 3 kids of our own, and I started working. 5 years into the corporate environment, I decided that I'd rather be a stay-at-home mom. At that stage, the kids weren't living with us anymore. So I just decided I'm going to resign and spend some time with my kids. That same year, my husband decided to open his own business, and the business didn't do very well. So I didn't work, he didn't work, he did the business, but financially we weren't doing very well. Our marriage kind of fell apart. Our finances was a mess. I was a mess. I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't clean the house. I disintegrated. I got depressed. And it was a bad time in my life. And what happened is I actually stumbled upon a health and wellness group on Facebook. And they were hosting a competition, an Adidas competition. It was an exercise competition. And I was morbidly obese. So I decided to enter in the competition, and we had to do like videos and stuff like push-ups and burpees and mountain climbers, and I had to Google all of those things. I didn't even know what they were, but I did it and I made my videos, and I actually won the Adidas competition, and that gave me a lot of confidence. And I started losing weight, and one of my friends that I've met on the group actually invited me to do an OCR race. And I said to her, listen, you're crazy. I'm still heavily overweight. I can't go jump off stuff and climb over stuff. And she actually managed to convince me. So at 122 kilograms, I went and did the Warrior Rookie, which was a 5 kilometer and 15 obstacles OCR race. That's a story. That's also a story for another day, because that was rough. But I made it. I actually did it, and I got my medal, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. And I realized that there's a great misconception as to what an overweight person can and cannot do. That started me on a bigger quest. I actually lost 27 kilograms by that time. And then I started helping my family lose weight. And they all did very well. My family lost, well, my husband, me, my stepson, and my stepdaughter, we lost over 100 kilograms together. So naturally, everyone started asking, what were we doing? How were we doing it? And they wanted to know what they can do. So at the end of the day, it rolled into me coaching others, and it became a full-time gig. So at a stage I was, well, not at a stage, but at the end of the day, I was coaching over 100 people to lose weight and feel better about themselves. So I was a lifestyle coach for 2 years. And I also, I'm finishing up my studies as a personal trainer and a life coach accredited through Comensa. And I also have an athletic nutrition certification. Somehow, with the coaching and everyone and helping everyone, I lost myself again. And something was missing, because I had all this knowledge and all the experience of helping all these people, but for some reason, I couldn't lose weight. I picked up everything that I lost and some, and I was stuck. I didn't know why. Why do I know everything, but still I can't do it? And it's, I fussed about it a lot. And at the end of the day, I realized that the mental part of the journey is a much larger part than the actual physical part of the journey. So I started doing a lot of research on the mental side of the journey. And what I've come to learn is that your actions, what you do, is determined by how you feel. So if you feel crappy, your actions are crappy. And what your feelings are is the things that you feel comes from how you think about life and how you think about situations and yourself. So your thinking determines your feelings, and your feelings determines your actions, And in conclusion, it determines your results at the end of the day. So, I've been on a journey. I've been in a journey to enrich and infuse my thought patterns, because I want to see change. I want to see change in all the aspects of my life, spiritually, physically, financially, mentally, environmentally, socially, emotionally. I want to see what my calling is, because I know that this is where I need to be. I need to be helping people, because that's where I feel fulfilled. And personal development from an early age of my life has played a big role. So I've always watched Dr. Phil and Oprah, and I've always bought these little self-help books. So it's always been my passion. I just didn't realize it. And at the end of the day, I've learned that I should read lots and lots of books so I can change my mentality and change my thinking. And what I want to do is I want to change from the inside out. And I want to share whatever I've learned with you. And that's why I've created this YouTube channel. Not because I'm an expert, no. Because I want to share what I learn, and maybe, just maybe, me and you can change our destiny. So thank you for being here. I hope you really found value. You can subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on my blog at WordPress. It's inspirerfreak.wordpress.com. Or you can catch me on Facebook. Like my Facebook page on Facebook. It's Inspirer Freak Personal Development. So please join me on my journey, and let's see what happens. My way.